You hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome! Knew you many time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day in patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome.
For BSS! Who's it that?
Who? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray the gods to intermit the plague that needs must like this ingratitude.
Go, good countrymen, and for this fault, assemble all the poor men of your sort. See whether their basest metal be not moved. They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the capital. This way will I throw the images.
May we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
Oh, it is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. Do you too where you find them likewise. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of man and leave us all in servile fearfulness?
Brutus' ways, he doth run this course. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. Well, our elders say the Baron, when touched in this holy race, do shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set to, and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Ha! Who called?
Bid every noise be still, peace yet again.
Beware the Ides of March.
Huh?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set it before me. Let me see her face. What's that say to me? Say it once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She is a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass!
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness, nor show of love as I was wont to have.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I veiled my look, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late, with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which perhaps give some soil to my behavior. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number Cassius be you one, nor construe any further my neglect. Let that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the show of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, have I much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
To what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you
Leave the shouting. I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be out toward the general good, set honor in one eye, and death in the other. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor, more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I was born free, as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber, chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did on his shoulder from flames of Troy the old Anchises bear, so did I from waves of Tiber the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature that must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that eye of his, whose bend doth all the world, did lose its luster. I did hear him moan, and that tongue of his, that bade the Romans mark him and set his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius," as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start in the chest of the world.
Another general shouts. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped unto Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at some time, are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed that he has grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When could they say, till now, that spoke of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man? Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his seat in Rome as easily as a king.
That you do love me. I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I shall recount hereafter. For this present, I will not, so with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and but find a time meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, true upon this, Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions that this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell us what hath proceeded worthy note today.
I will do so, but look you, Cassius, that angry spot on glow on Caesar's brow. The rest look like a chit and trend.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius!
Caesar!
Let me have men around me who are fat, sleek-headed men that sleep o' nights. Ah! Young Cassius. He has a lean and hungry look. He reads too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Ha! Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. If my name were liable to fear, there is no man I'd sooner avoid than that spare Cassius. He thinks too much. He's a great observer. He sees right through the deeds of men. He loves no plays like you do, Antonius. No, he hears no music. I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear myself. Come to my right hand. This here is death. And tell me what thou truly thinks of Cassius, huh?
You pulled me by the coat. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what had chance today that Caesar looked so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
But then I should not ask Casca what had chance.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
And what was the second cry for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry?
Why, for that too.
The crown was offered him thrice.
Aye, marry, was it? And he put it by thrice, each time gentler than other. And at every putting by, my honest neighbour shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
By Anthony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
Oh, I can as well be hanged as tell you the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. And yet it was not a crown neither, it was one of these coronets. And, as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again, he put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers from it. Then he offered it a third time, he put it a third time by, and still, as he refused it, the rabblement clapped their chapped hands and threw their sweaty nightcaps in the air and uttered such a deal of stinking breath that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. For mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
Soft. I pray you, what? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like. He had the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca here, we have the falling sickness.
Oh, I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
And what said he when he came unto himself?
I married before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad that he refused the crown. He plucked me off his doublet and offered them his throat to cut, and so he fell. And when he came to himself again, he said if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood grasped their hearts and said, "Alas, dear soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Ah,
Did Cicero say anything?
aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Marullus and Flavia, for pulling scarves of Caesar's statues, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick metal when he was at school.
So he is now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However, he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
So it is. For today, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their like, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. After this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Casca, brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless, and why do you stare so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now, did I walk through a tempest-dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy for the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, I had not yet put up my sword. Against the Capitol I met a lion, who did glare upon me and went surly by without annoying me. And drawn upon a heap, 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, swore they saw men all in fire walk up and down the street. And yesterday, the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural, for I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
These are strange disposed times. But men will construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow.
He doth, for he did bid Antonius send word to you he would be there tomorrow.
Then this disturbance, Guy, is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman?
Casca, by your voice.
You have a good ear. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
But whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, Casca, I have walked about the streets submitting me into the perilous night, and thus, unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens?
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you do want. Or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But I could, Casca, name to thee a man, most like this dreadful night, who thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors, but woe the while our fathers' minds are dead.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear my weapon then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Not stony towers, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeons, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, growing weary of these worldly bonds, never lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, and know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees that Romans are but sheep. He were no lion. Were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, and then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers to me are indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no awful telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequences. And I do know by this, they stay for me at Pompey's porch. For now, this fearful night, there is no stir or walking in the streets, and the complexion of the element in favors like the work we have at hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna, I do know her by her gait. She is a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that? Madame Silva?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our thoughts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I'm glad of it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange signs. Cassius, if you could but win then over Brutus for a party.
Be you content. Good Cinna, take this paper and see you lay it on the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window. Is Decius Brutus and Trebonius there?
All but Metellus Silva, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide, and so bestow this paper as you bade me.
Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus in his house. 3 parts of him is ours already. The man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offence in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth, and our great need of him, you have right well conceded. Let us go. For it is after midnight, and ere day we will await him, and be sure.
Must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurt at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him that way, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he might do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak true of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. This is a common proof that loneliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But once he attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. And so Caesar may, then lest he may, prevent. And since this quarrel bears no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is augmented runs to these and these extremities, and think of him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get to bed again. 'Tis not day. It's not tomorrow, man, the Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar, and bring me word.
I will, sir. Sir, March is wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Somebody knocks. Go to the gate. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, it is your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are put about their face, and half their face is buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favour.
Let them enter. They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy! Shame is thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free. Oh, then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none, conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every one of them, and every one doth honor you, and not a one but wishes you had that same opinion of yourself that every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This, Decia Brutus.
She is welcome too.
This Casca. This Cinna. And this this to tell us Simba.
They are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Pardon, sir, it does. And yon grey line that thread the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess that you are both deceived. Here, where I point myself, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, up higher toward the north he first presents his fire, and the high east stands as the capital directly here.
Give me your hands, all over one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of man, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off betimes and get every man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sided tyranny range on, till each man draw by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, there's fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what need we but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans who have spoke the word and will not palter? What other oath than honesty to honesty engaged, that this shall be, or we will fall for it?
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Oh, let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion and buy men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and oneness shall no it appear, but all be bare in his gravity.
Oh, name him not, let us not break with him, for he never follows anything that other men begin.
And leave him out.
Oh, indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Dacia, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know, his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all. Which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, and not butchers, Caius. We all stand against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants against an act of rage, which after seems to chide them. This shall make our purpose seem necessary, and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, and not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar.
But yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, think not of him. All that he can do is to himself, and die for Caesar.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. 'Tis time to part.
But it is yet unknown whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once of fantasy of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these unaccustomed prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of the night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that, if he be so resolved, I can persuade him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends. Disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good countrymen, Look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear them, as our Roman actors do with untired spirits and formal constancy. So good morrow to you, everyone. Lucius! Awake! Fast asleep. There's no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not your helpless to commit your weak condition to this raw and cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from your bed. And yesterday night at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted. Yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did. It's not that you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it had much prevailed on your condition? I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he'd embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk unbraced and suck up the humours of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And would he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add into his sickness? No, my Brutus, you had some sick offence within your mind, which by the virtue and right of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your heart, why you were heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself in sort or limitation? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes. Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, for being no more Portia's Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife. As dear to me as the ruddy drops that visits my sad heart.
This were true, then should I know the secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound. Here, in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while, and by and by thy bosom shall partake all the secrets to my heart. All my engagements I shall construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
O Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decia Brutus loves thee not. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. Here will I stand and wait till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. O Caesar, if thou read this, thou mayst live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
Neither heaven nor earth has been at peace tonight. Thrice Calpurnia in her sleep has cried out, "Help ho! They murder Caesar." Who's within?
My lord.
Bid the priests to make sacrifice, huh? And bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord. What mean you, Caesar?
Huh?
Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall go forth. The things that threaten me look upon my back. When they see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they frighten me. There is one within, besides the things we have heard and seen, recounts the sights most horrid, seen by the watch. A lioness had whelped in the streets, and graves had yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in rank formal war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, and horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are for the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves place forth the death of princes.
Cowards die 1,000 times before their deaths. It is only a valiant that taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I've heard, it seems most strange to me that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Aha! What say the augurists?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Blunting the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beams.
The gods do this from shame! Of cowardice! Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. Danger knows full well I am more dangerous than he. We're like two lions littered on the same day. I am the elder and more terrible. Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. Whilst
Caesar, me, Mark Antony, will tell them that Caesar is not well today. Nah! But I will stay at home today. And here's Decius Brutus. She'll tell them so.
Caesar, all hail, good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you come at a very happy time to bear my greetings to the Senate and to tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false. Dare not is false, sir. I will not come today. Go tell them, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Ah! Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I, in conquest, with my arm outstretched so far, to be afraid to tell greybeards the truth? No. Caesar shall not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is my will! I will not come today! That should be enough to satisfy the Senate, but for thy private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, bids me stay at home today. She had a dream tonight. She saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these she's taken for portents of warnings of evils imminent. And as on her knees, bid me stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, signifies that from you, great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that brave man shall dress for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
Well, you have expounded it.
I have. When you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate has concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, oh, Caesar is afraid. Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to our proceedings bids me tell you this. And reason to my love is liable.
Foolish your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I'm ashamed I yielded to them. Get my robe! I will go forth! Ah, here's Metellus!
Good morrow, Caesar!
Welcome, Metellus, and Brutus has arisen so early, too. Casca! Good morrow, sinner. Caesar were ne'er so much your enemy as the ague that has made you so lean. What o'clock is it?
Caesar, 'tis stricken 8.
I thank you for your time and your patience. See! Antonius! Who revels long tending up. Good morrow, Antonio.
So to most noble Caesar.
Well, let us prepare with it. I am to be blamed for thus to be waited for. So, good Casca. Trebonius! I've got an hour's talk in store for you. But remember, it was you who came to me today. Be near me, so that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be, that your best friends shall wish I had been further.
So good friends, come, take some wine with me. And as friends, we shall straightway go together.
And every like is not the same. O Caesar, the heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
Madam, what should I do? Run to the Senate and nothing else? And just come back to you and nothing else?
Yes, bring me word, man, with thy lord looks well, for he been sickly forth, and take good note what Caesar done, what suitors press him. Come hither, madam. What is the clock?
About 9th hour, lady.
Has Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to soon pass on to the capital.
Why dost thou know any harm intended towards him?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. I'll get myself to a place more void, and there speak to great Caesar as I come in.
I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. O Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thy enterprise.
The Ides of March have come.
I, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail, Caesar! Read this schedule.
Trebonius doth desire it over. Read at your best leisure. This is humble suit.
Read mine first, O Caesar, for mine the suit which touches Caesar still.
What touches me ourselves shall be treated last.
Delay not, great Caesar, read it instantly.
Is this fellow mad?
Sirrah, give place. What urge your petitions in the streets? Come to the capital.
Cassius, I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Cicero?
Fare thee well.
You wish today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar, mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention, Brutus, which shall be done. If this be known, Caesar or Cassius never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cicero speaks not of our purposes, for look he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows his time, for look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed, press near, and second him.
Casca, you are the first to raise your hand.
Are we ready? What's amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat unhumble.
I must prevent thee, Cimber, huh? Thy brother by decree is banished. If you should kneel and fawn and pray for him, then I will scorn thee like a cat out of my way. No!
Is there no voice more worthy than my own? To sound most sweetly in great Caesar's ears for the repeating of my banished brother!
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar. Desiring thee, Publius Cimber, have immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar,
Oh.
pardon, as low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be moved if I were as you. I could be moved to pray if prayer would move me. But I am as constant as the northern star, whose true, fixed, and resting quality there is no other fellow in the firmament. The heavens are painted with unnumbered sparks, all of them fire, and all of them doth shine. But there is just one that doth hold his place. So with the world! 'Tis furnished well with men, and all men of flesh and blood, and apprehensive. And of all your number, there is but one that unassailably holds its rank, unshaked by emotion, and that I am he. And let me help you, even in this matter. I was constant that Cimber should be banished. And constant do I remain so.
Oh, Caesar!
Wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
Et tu, Brute, and fall, Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Riots! Proclaiming! Cry about me in the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
Be blood senators! Be not affrighted! Fly not, stand stiff! Ambition's debt is paid!
Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
And Cassius too!
Where's Cicero?
Here! Quite company in this mutiny!
Ending, Cicero! Good cheer! There is no harm intended to your person or to no Roman house. Tell them, Cicero!
And leave us, Cicero, lest that the people falling on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, let no man abide the deeds, but we the doers.
Where is Mark Antony?
Fled to his house, amazed. Men, wives, children stare, cry out and run, as if it were doomsday. Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but the time, enjoying days out that men stand upon.
Why, he who cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit? And so are we become Caesar's friends that have but abridged his time of fearing death? Stoop, and Romans. Stoop. And let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. And then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, raising our red weapons o'er our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, liberty!
Stoop then, and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sports, that all upon his spaces lies alone, no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the none of us be called the ones who gave their country liberty.
What? Shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts in Rome.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instruments that have that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. If 1,000 years I shall not find myself so apt to die, no place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar, and by you, cut off the choice and master spirit of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands in this our present act you see we do. Yet see you but our hands, and the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity had done this deed on Caesar. And for your part, our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper do receive you in, with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice will be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver the cause. Why, I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each one render me their bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. The last, not least in love, yours, good Trebonius. Everyone, all. Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways he must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. But I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. Defend thy spirit, look upon us now. Shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble, in the presence of thy corse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, and crimsoned in thy leaf. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart, and this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer, struck it by many princes, dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend, it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends? Or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will speak.
Under your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first and deliver the cause of our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented that Caesar shall receive all true rights and lawful ceremonies.
It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else you shall not have any hand at all about this funeral. And you will speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds, now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infant quartered with the hands of war, all pity choked with the custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Attila by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc! And let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial. You serve Octavia Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did write for her to come to Rome.
She did receive this letter and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth.
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion, I see, is catching. For mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, began to water. Is thy mistress coming?
She lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed. and tell her what has chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavia yet. Hie hence and tell her so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men. According to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavia of the state of things. Lend me your hand.